Okay, now we're recording with Tony. So you had some topics you wanted to talk about today. Uh, Go ahead.
I want to talk about black women.
Oh, that's spicy. It's a spicy meatball.
Yes, but I want to talk about uh, I would have to say it's oppositional defiance disorder has gripped the cultural niche of the black female.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with this, but I just started school. I started my electrical engineering degree, so I have black women in my class. So far, everyone's been cool, but we'll see how it goes.
Well, this is funny because I remember one time I was in a calculus class in college, and my teacher, his name was Dr. Tony Castillo, and he was like, that character that Edward James Olmos played in Stand and Deliver. He was motivational, and he's the first good math teacher I ever had. He'd be like, "Oh, Mr. Scott, I can see you are puzzled by this by the question. Tell me what is the problem? Where did you sit?"
Oh, lost the video.
And I said, "I'm getting a call. I'm gonna
Okay,
ignore it."
okay.
Still rolling.
Yes.
And so he says, "Tell me where," and I'd be like, "Well, I think these problems were like 3 blackboards long, And I'm like, "No, I think it was back over there on that first blackboard."
Yeah.
And he was so cool. He'd go back. "Oh, no problem. We will go back to the beginning of the problem. See here, you need to cancel these out, and then of course divide the numerator by then back over to here, and which led to this, which led to that, and then here we are." And I was like, "Okay, I get it. I get it." A lot of my math teachers, they literally would be writing with one hand and erasing as they went like this. So bear in mind, he was the best possible math teacher you could have. Well, there's this black woman in the class, right? And she was always surly and difficult. And, well, what happens when you get it wrong? Well, the mathematical, you perform the proper operations in the proper order of operations, and you will derive the correct answer. Well, what happened when you do all that and you still get it wrong?
Well, it's
And
wrong.
looking flummoxed, and I turned to my math buddy sitting next to me. I go, "She's got a bad attitude." And her bad attitude. Well, that kind of is a perfect segue. This "I do not have a bad attitude."
Right, right.
That sums it up. So we got this situation in life right now and this kind of black women kind of have this double aspect of people lying to them, that there's the feminist aspect and also the racial identitarian
Yeah.
aspect, which they can do no wrong, and they've been traditional victims. I'm not even going to argue any of that stuff right now.
Right.
But what happens to a person when you're telling them this all the time? Well, and now they can do whatever they want, and they can victimize and brutalize people, and they can steal, and they can bully. At the water park where I was working a while back, I noticed that, like, when I'd be walking in and out of a door and there's customers and guests, and then some of the young black girls who worked at the park would be coming, they just barrel on through. And I'm like, wow, they're not even turning their shoulders. They're not yielding to the customer. They're not yielding to anybody. And so I asked some of the young guys who work there, like, because it's a lot of high school kids, and these are high school girls mostly. I'm like, "Hey man, what's up? What's up with the black girls, man? They seem to be really rough." Like, "Oh yeah, man, you totally don't want to mess with them, man. They fight you. They're bitchy. They're bullies. You can't discipline them at school. They're totally going crazy, and they're getting this sense of real entitlement.
Yeah.
That they whatever they want, they can steal." So you're watching these videos. I watch them. You watch them. A black woman getting arrested. "Sorry, ma'am, you're under arrest." "No, I'm not." "What do you mean? No, you're under arrest, lady." So I've been thinking about some of these DEI black females and their lack of competence.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they've been
uh,
told they can have all this stuff automatically. A lot of the movies are about this too. They just automatically have these superpowers just because their skin's got a little bit of melanin in it.
So have you been noticing this?
I
This
mean, I
stuff?
haven't had the direct influence of this, but I have a family member who talks about this all the time. He works for a government agency, which I don't want to say right now, but he says it's a real big problem. It's a real big problem. He had to get a permission to work from home before all the Rona and stuff. He worked from home for years because this woman, black woman, was just bothering him all the time, and it would not stop. And they didn't want to discipline her for whatever reason, so they let him go home and still work from home for years and years when no one else was allowed to. That was instead of him doing a lawsuit. The deal they made.
Well, let's look at the list. Let's talk about the most prominent black female in the political world at this time. Okay, well, Maxine Waters. If you see a Republican in a gas station, harass them. If they're in a restaurant, you violate them. You push them out.
Yeah,
Literally
that stuff is super. Like, how is that not racist?
against white conservatives
Yeah,
in the streets.
yeah, yeah.
Karen Bass, the loser mayor of LA who was in Ghana or wherever the fuck when the wildfires hit. And that's a really interesting campaign going on with Spencer Pratt, former reality star, who's just coming out with I mean, hey, look how much these people suck.
Oh, that's the same
And
Spencer Pratt that was in the reality shows. He looked totally different. Like, he looks very different.
no, that's it. Yes, he was one of the original
Bachelors,
reality show villains.
was it The Bachelor or something like that?
It was no, I think it was brats of I don't know. I
Yeah,
wasn't into I don't but look at Karen Bass, and she symbolizes this DEI mayor where identity, well, it's a black female. So that's
gotta
good,
listen.
right?
You gotta do what she says.
How about we do something based on merit that, is her city not a complete and total meltdown of governments?
It's
I mean,
bad.
how much you have to get to an Armageddon, to an end time hellhole meltdown, fentanyl zombies in the streets. Look how the entire economy of LA, they literally lost the film industry.
Killed
Fentanyl
it.
zombies, fires. She's, all the ponds where these helicopters were supposed to be able to draw water and dump it on the fire, they were all empty. She knew the storms were coming, the wind storms, and high humidity. But I lived on the West Coast. They're always aware of what the forest fire danger
Yeah.
is. It's an ongoing thing.
Yep.
It'd be like Northeastern mayor leaving town right before the blizzard
Yeah.
hits. She's incompetent, and she's just, she's there because she's a black female.
Right.
And liberals, they don't care. They just vote for somebody. Oh, she's a black female, so therefore she must be good.
Right.
They don't even care if she's good. That's not the point.
Yeah.
All right. There's this AG. Are you still there?
Yeah. I'm still here. It's a little bit rough signal, but let's keep going.
Okay. The AG of New York, who prosecuted Trump, they literally made special laws to where they could prosecute him. And the basic crime he committed allegedly was that he overvalued his assets in order
Oh,
to get loans.
yeah. I mean, come on.
And then when it is all said and done, I can't think of her name right now. Sorry, but when it was all said and done, turns out she did the exact
All right.
same
That is a plot twist.
thing.
I heard that.
Yes. Okay. Here's another one. Fani Willis, the Atlanta prosecutor, who is also prosecuting Trump on different charges. And turns out she's paying the guy who's fucking her out, who has no courtroom experience, like $600,000 a year, but he's kicking back to her in the form of trips and cash and whatnot. So they're literally just scamming the fucking system.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The corruption is pretty endemic now. It's like it's at levels where if this keeps going like it is, we're definitely gonna have some sort of revolutionary system, some kind of revolutionary change happening. because it doesn't go on. This can't go. This doesn't go on forever, historically speaking.
Yeah, Bonnie Willis. Uh,
You broke up there, Tony.
Jackson Brown. Is it Jackson Brown, the new DEI, who couldn't tell you what a woman was during her time?
They're like, what are you? What country is this? This is insane.
Alito just wrote a decision where her decisions are so bad that the court's like, this bitch ain't even making sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you thought Kagan was bad,
Yeah.
and now this woman, it's like, it doesn't even matter. I mean, she's a subpar intellect. She's an idiot. Um, so Maxine Waters, Karen Bass, AG of New York, that's uh, Bonnie Willis, the Supreme Court Justice, Claudine Gay, the Harvard president who was caught plagiarizing her doctoral thesis from another black woman.
Yeah. Those are all the DEI. There seems to be something happening with the elite. They're trying to get a coalition of losers to go against the power block that's in charge. They seem to be trying to they took over the academia, and this is part of their new way of life, their new religion, where the lowest become the highest. And plagiarism is very common, especially with that group of people. Like, it's just because you have to get to that level and say all the right things, do all the right things, you have to plagiarize other people. Otherwise, you're not part of the team.
Okay, I have more. Okay. Oprah. What the fuck did Oprah ever do? How about that Whoopi Goldberg on The View? What an idiot. And there's another one, I think she's Star Jackson or something.
Yeah.
She didn't know that fucking Earth revolved around the sun. But the all-time queen of the DEI doesn't deserve to be their universe, Kamala Harris.
She's the top. Sucked dick all the way to the top. It's like, wow, sucking dick actually does work.
Montel Williams, she used to be one of his side pieces.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So see, she's got her credentials. She has credentials. She'll get the job done.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, the funny thing is, I had a black female boss, and I worked really hard.
Okay, you're
And
breaking up a little bit, Tony. You're breaking up a little, Tony.
I think I've got a call there. It was probably a call. Sorry
Yeah,
about
you need to put it on the do not disturb next time.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I
That's
will do
okay.
that.
We're figuring it out. We're figuring it
But
one day at a time.
I had a black female boss, and I was such a good. I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah,
Are you hearing an echo?
you're cutting in and out, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Okay, how about now?
It's good.
Okay, so I had a black female boss for many years, and when she'd call me up, yes, ma'am, what do you need? I will do it right away, ma'am. And we had a good relationship, and I know she trusted me, and I know I trusted her. Well, then I had a meeting one time with this, I'm just going to say the words, a big fat homo who sexually harassed me in a meeting and got
Really?
up real close to my face and sat with spreading his thighs apart to show me his big fat homo belly and inner thighs. He was sitting like 1 foot away from me at a conference table. And she witnessed this. And federal law states that if you witness someone being sexually harassed, you're supposed to do something about it. And this was the guy who took the job that she applied for. And she didn't back me up. And
Wow.
I'm like, yeah, it's like I was a good employee and I was, yes, ma'am, whatever you need.
Yeah.
And I'm not making a racial issue out of this, but she was a black woman. So if you call me a racist or something, no, man, I'd love to see black women succeed. And this is really at the heart of the issue.
Yeah.
How does anyone truly succeed if they have oppositional defiance disorder? If they
It says it's a temporary. This is a temporary time that the culture's like this. Russia went through something similar when they had their culture revolution, where they had the lowest became in charge. Ever see that movie? Doctor Shivago. You ever see that movie? Remember with the scene where they're living in their house, whatever. And there's just the high class people where the people in charge, and then they come back a few years later after the revolution, and there's people living in every room. They're cutting down doors and using it as firewood. There's like 50 people living in the place, and they have to get permission to go into their own little space, just a little one bedroom. Crazy. So this is the phase
You
we're in
just
right
described
now. Go ahead.
LA.
Go ahead.
You just described LA. You just described the modern American city, you know, which is they're low in conscientiousness, they say, as far as the big five trait model is concerned, and that liberals tend to be low and conscientious, and therefore they
Low
make
empathy.
horrible managers.
Right. Well,
But
it's not even it's not even that. It's a culture war, and these are the players, and you're not on the team. Sorry, white straight male. Oh, you're definitely not on the team.
but what I'm saying is, how do you succeed? How does society succeed when that is your attitude? How is that woman in the math class, as long as she's oppositionally defiant, until she learns that mathematics is objective, kind of like culture, kind of like the hierarchy? There's a certain objective aspect to the hierarchy, which is a meritocracy. And until you accept that reality and start working your way up, you know, I mean, if your idea that it's too hard to get to the top of the mountain, let's tear the mountain down.
Well, that's what we're in the we're in the middle of that right now.
Neither is going to be successful.
No, no,
That's the
it's not
point.
about
So how?
success. It's about revenge.
And there are when you look at the current when I look online, there are conservative people who, well, here's another one, Candace Owens. You know, for a while seemed kind of reasonable,
No,
making
she's
sense,
off the
and then
rails.
crazy ass off the fucking plantation lunatic.
Yeah,
You know, Condoleezza Rice, you know, at least she was still somewhat rational,
yeah.
but then she was carrying water for the whole Bush endless war thing. So, you know, I so want to see rational, uh, sentient, common sense black women succeed, but then go down at the street level. Like we've been seeing a lot of these urban takeovers recently.
Yeah.
You shake your ass, twerking.
Yeah, and the police have been
Uh,
told to allow that to happen. These are Democrat-run cities. This is another part of this cultural revolution thing. In red states and red areas, that would not fly for more than a minute or two. But in these Democrat-run states, this is where the ICE attacks are happening. They're not the ICE are calling for backup. There's nothing coming. They can't set up a perimeter. They're not allowed, and all this other stuff. So that's why these attacks are happening. Is because these are Democrat-run strongholds. This is part of this cultural revolutionary neo-communist, whatever the hell is neo-Marxist thing, that where they have the coalition of the outsiders that they've built up in some of these cities to take over, and their whole thing is if we can suppress the old guard, will the paradise will appear, and that's just not how it works. But they all believe
well,
it will. That's their belief, right? And it's like even if it doesn't, so what? Fuck them. It's like that level, and then bye bye society, bye bye.
and yeah, so let's turn a blind eye while these people act up. You know, if you look at in the blogosphere, you know, there's lots of podcasts where you have these fly black women with their 3-inch long nails talking about how they ain't gonna take no man who ain't da 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 da. And all the bird hand come from the black women. So for some reason, what the black women are doing seems
Not
to
all,
filter
not all.
down
Just there's a
to
large
all the white.
contingent. They're very loud, but not all. They're not all like this. But let's keep going.
Not all of them, but what they seem to do, they seem to, for some reason, be early adopters. You know, they seem to be trendsetters, and then later on the white women are talking the same way.
Right,
The white women are doing the same thing with the hands,
right,
and they're going to go get their nails did.
right,
You know,
right.
and how do they poop with 3-inch nails? How do they wipe their ass? How does
That
that
one
happen?
lady has
And
a that was she was like that big fat black lady was she was some singer. She's got somebody she hired for like $13,000 a month that wipes her ass for her. Have you heard this?
what?
It's
I
a
got a
real thing. You can
bidet.
look it up. It's a real thing. It's real. I checked into it.
dude.
I'm
And
like, this is ridiculous, but that's how they see it. They're just
but
like, they think that the upper class has a similar vibe. It's like, no, I don't think that's not what was going on. Go ahead.
and this is all downstream of that CIA uh, uh, incepted gangster black culture,
Oh, that's
and
yeah.
that the adoption
That's all part
of
of it.
it,
Yeah.
and the values and the morality of it, materialism,
Mm-hmm.
just blatant sexuality, seeing people as objects,
Yeah.
judging simply for their provide,
You're breaking
you
up. You're
know.
breaking up a little bit, Tony. Go ahead. Repeat the last 10 seconds.
Uh, well, anyway, my point was that the values represented, yeah, Lizzo. There's another one. Oh, isn't Lizzo amazing and brilliant? This big
Until she
fat,
lost weight, now she's a terrible person.
and it turns out, yeah, she's harassing her dancers for not being skinny.
Right. Well, that was a while ago. Now she's skinny, and that's now they're against her because she betrayed the group by
Well,
going.
she ain't that skinny. At the Kevin Hart roast recently, but so my point is, where are the people who are, dare I say, godly and they have humility, and they're preaching the age old hard work and education. Well, no, the teacher, he's part of the establishment. You don't let no teacher tell you what to do. Like, we just had these commencement ceremonies all over the country,
Yeah.
and and black girls twerking on stage, going wild everywhere. So where does all this end? At what point, if it's not good for them, it's not good for culture. So where does it end?
Well, it
How does this?
usually ends in a revolution, a counter revolution. So they've done some revolutionary stuff. It usually ends in either complete destruction and collapse or a counter revolution.
Yeah.
Historically speaking, these movements. That's if you look at Russia, it just collapsed.
So I think there's utility in people speaking up and saying, no, 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 this ain't right. No, 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 bitch. You know, don't do that.
But they don't.
You know,
But without power, right? Without some sort of power base, which they are. These are all power alignments. This is all. They aren't coming up with this stuff on their own. They're aligning with a group that's in some place in the country is in power in the blue cities. They're aligning with that group, and if you don't align with that group in that city, you're not going to be part of the power base. You're going to be excluded, and that's you're there in Austin. You're in a very blue zone, and if you're not part of this DEI thing, you are on the outside. As a straight white male, you're definitely on the downside. And other areas of the country, you wouldn't have these kind of problems. Here in South Carolina, it's more red state here. Although in the city of Columbia, they've still got some of that blue stuff going on here, but it's not as intense as it is in Austin.
well, we got Houston, we got H Town, Austin, it's more of an East Side thing. But I see it culturally. I see it everywhere. Now, uh,
Yeah, it's cultural and political. It's a combination, just like how they did it in Russia.
the other day, I actually live in a small town outside Austin, but I was in the Walmart the other day, and there was just the nicest, sweetest old black lady in her church dress
Yeah,
on Sunday. And I smiled at her and said, "Hello, ma'am. How are you today?" "I'm very well, sir. How are you?" And it's just very nice and genteel and kind and traditional values
right.
and hardworking to be like that. I mean, you can do the a survey of history, and the illiteracy rate and the fatherlessness rate has only skyrocketed since the great what was it, LBJ's Great Society,
Right, where he
whatever it was.
excluded, he made it so if you want to get benefits from the government, you had to get rid of the man in the household. That just destroyed the
Yeah,
black
it was a
community. That destroyed them.
Yeah, yeah. Let's just get it's like feeding the bears in Yellowstone Park. Then they just become these dependency washouts, and
They
so
had a higher marriage rate in the 50s. Blacks had a higher marriage rate in the 50s before all these programs came through. It just completely devastated the black community. Completely.
I higher entrepreneurial rate, more black-owned businesses. They were creating black business zones, and of course, let's build a stadium right in the middle of their black zone and redlining. That's a thing. So there's an argument that they can make. That we're just consistently, we the white man. I didn't do it.
I
You
didn't have
know,
nothing
you.
to do with any of that stuff. I owe my parents.
I,
My parents and my folk got here on the 20s, so I was way beyond
my
all that
people.
stuff. I was that
Yeah,
no part of it.
my people never owned no slaves. I looked at a
I was a
picture of
slave.
my.
My people were slaves for sure, 100%.
Well, that's another thing. Let's just say this up front, okay? Um, Homo sapien is a brutal ape, and he has been oppressing other Homo sapiens since the dawn of time. Before Homo sapien evolved low melanin content in skin, slavery and oppression was already a thing.
Yeah,
Before any continental migration happened out of
yeah.
Africa, slavery and oppression was already a
I
thing.
think it was the second oldest profession is it's the slave holding.
Yeah. So, so
Maybe first,
A-
not clear.
Africans have always practiced slavery continuously from the dawn of time until now
Yeah,
in a continuous and every society under creation has practiced it at some point.
correct.
It was white people who ended it in
Only
the
one.
civil world,
Yeah, only one.
particularly British,
That's right.
because they
At
did
great
this
cost, by the way. At great cost.
at great cost. In fact, even during the time where slavery was going on in the United States, the Barbary slave trade was going on, in which they were taking Europeans
Way
and
bigger
enslaving them.
than the African slave trade. Way bigger. Way bigger. It was like 10 times bigger.
But if they want to blame me, I can blame them. I choose not to. I try to take an evolutionary approach to this, see things through an evolutionary lens and
Sure.
a historic lens.
Sure.
But part of the problem is the reason for this oppositional defiance disorder is because they've been sold a false historical model, and this was
Roots.
completely.
Roots. They actually believe that was real. It's like that's not real at all. The what happened in that was like maybe 1% of what happened. It's like it was completely fabricated.
Broad perspective of the history of slavery from an anthropological model in which, guess what, everybody did it.
Everyone.
But historically speaking, who brought it to an end? There are still slave markets right now in Africa.
Yep.
Here's another one, by the way, brother. No Democrat liberal has the right to bitch at me about antebellum slavery from the 1860s when they are currently supporting a Democrat regime that has left the border wide open, 500,000 undocumented underage migrants, uh, that child sex slavery and the U.S. government under Biden providing the final leg of transportation, cartel owned, safe houses, this bust of this California pot farm. The cartels own all the pot farms now. Sorry. So if you're going to be, and there were underage illegal migrants working their dead off to the cartel in the pot farm. All the Chinese people, when you go to get your nails did, and that Chinese lady working on your toes, who the fuck is that Chinese woman? The CCP and the drug gangs have a partnership going to smuggle in Chinese illegal slave immigrants, and they're working in these cartel owned businesses and CCP owned businesses that launder drug money, weapon money, human trafficking money, and these are child sex slaves. And you're lecturing me on antebellum slavery,
Yeah.
you fucking modern day slave trader. Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bad.
Fuck, you're guilty of it right now, Whoopi
Yeah.
Goldberg.
Yeah. Yeah. There
Fuck you,
it's really
Michelle
bad.
Obama. Oh, there's
It's
another Mike.
go ahead, say it again.
Michelle Obama, what the fuck has she ever done?
Who is that? Say again.
Big Mike, Michelle Obama. There's another one. I don't think she's a man personally, because when I hear her voice, I don't hear. Oh, here's another one. Brittany Griner, WNBA star. That's a dude. Listen to the
Oh
voice.
yeah.
Like the other day with some relatives, I said, I'm going to play you a soundtrack, and you tell me when you hear a female, and you tell me when you hear a male. It was an interview with Brittany Griner talking about the fact that she having a baby, and I just want to be called Pops. I mean, she gonna be called Mom, but I said I just gotta be called Pops.
They're
And then
messing.
this
They're
to this
messing with us with that stuff. They're pushing it in our faces. They think it's part of their cultural Marxist revolutionary shit to change the culture in America, and we'll see how successful it is because these things don't last forever.
push back,
Yeah,
push back, brothers and sisters, push back, white people.
yeah, yeah,
Push back. Quit taking the crap.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, got nothing to be ashamed of. You did nothing wrong.
I had nothing
This
to do
is
with
the
any of that stuff.
great accepting culture in the history of the planet.
Right.
There's never been a culture that is done. And you know what? We love black people.
Yeah,
We
of
love the.
course.
Let's, but why? But, and in my
But not
day,
this
you
current, whatever this DEI trying to blame white people for all the problems thing. It's not even a racist. It's like, what are you guys doing? It's like we had nothing to do with that stuff.
if you want to meet me as true equals in the Martin Luther King, judge a man not by the color of skin, but by the content of his character,
Right.
I'm down. But you're not going to tell me that I'm some kind of fucking Jim Crow slave
Yeah.
master. That's not the truth. That didn't happen.
Definitely not.
And furthermore, I'm noticing your behavior is bad.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm calling you out. Stop it.
So we're at 30 minutes, 31 minutes, Tony. Do you have any closing comments you'd like to finish on?
I think that's what I'm saying. It's like white people, don't be afraid to call it out.
I've been doing it myself on the Facebooks, but go.
I just edited myself right then. I don't want to say what I was gonna say, but yeah. So yeah, and here's another thing, man.
Hold on, Fred.
We all have in-group preferences. That's normal.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you're a racist.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, I gotta go, Tony. It was good talking to you. We'll do this again next week. Bye.
Right on, brother.